We are speaking today with an Axon representative about their disruptive solution aimed at tackling, the chronic problems within the global cold chain. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be here. Absolutely.
To start, could you outline, the magnitude of the issue Axon is addressing? What is the current state of the cold chain?
Well, the current state is characterized by a massive blind spot, which leads to failure of cold chain integrity and major losses. At high level, look, globally, $1 trillion worth of food is lost or wasted every year due to cold chain failure. Dig a bit deeper, and you see that a significant portion of that, 35% or $350 billion, is attributed specifically to farms and manufacturing. This failure stems from a lack of end-to-end traceability, and the reason being is basically that the logistic records are highly fragmented due to lack of unified or interoperable systems. At the end of the day, if you look at any product flow, traceability and accountability are often lost once boxes are separated from the pallet at the distribution center. So all that leads to a major chronicle issue, which is hard to address unless boxes or items inside the box are tracked all the way to their destination.
Why haven't existing solutions solved this fragmentation issue?
Well, it's all about the state of an industry. You do not solve all the problems at the onset. As the market expands, right, issues show up and the need for efficiency increases. That is where opportunities show up. Basically, at the end of the day, it is all about solving the customer's pain point at a cost level which can be supported by the business, which is where innovation plays an important role. Looking at the cold chain market today, you will see that traditional pharmaceutical and food tracking is often constrained by cost. For example, a significant portion of the pharmaceutical shipments are often not monitored, simply because it is unreasonable to send a full-blown data logger with every single box, let alone at the item level. Why? Because it is cost prohibitive to do so. That results in what I call blind spots in the cold chain flow. So, without a comprehensive system, there is simply no way to authenticate whether the product has been maintained in proper condition throughout its entire journey. Bottom line, it's all about the customer's pain point and addressing the pain at an ROI which customers can justify.
Axon has introduced a solution to eliminate this chronic problem. Can you explain the core technology?
Well, listen, simply put, we solve the customer's problem at the cost levels which supports the ROI. Our solution is end-to-end and disruptive. The key component is NeuroVault, which we pioneered. You can think of it as a new class of disposable, user-defined environmental data logger deployed at the item level. With our product, tracking is automated and super simple. It starts by attaching a peel and stick NeuroVault to every box or item. At that point, item's digital twin is created. From that point onwards, the NeuroVault logs all the environmental conditions the box or item traverses through as part of its digital twin's identity, which we call megadata. This process effectively gives a digital voice to every single product and generates a comprehensive digital map of the entire cold chain through the megadata we record by the network of NeuroVaults deployed in the supply chain.
What powers the NeuroVault?
As I stated earlier, NeuroVault is the world's first wireless peel and stick temperature and environment logger powered by a single IC called Opus. Basically, users can define and program the cold chain rules. In other words, the condition every item needs to be maintained and the parameters to be monitored directly into the Opus IC. Let's call them instructions. Throughout cold chain, right, in real time, the defined instructions are executed, compared against the monitoring conditions, sensed using several sensors we have in our Opus IC, and recorded inside the memory available inside the IC. Basically, these recorded conditions are autonomously compared against the defined rules in real time, generating both visual and electronic alerts.
How exactly does this monitoring work throughout the shipment process?
Imagine the following. As the product moves through the cold chain, the defined instructions are executed in real time, meaning the monitoring conditions are digitized. The NeuroVault autonomously stores the environmental condition throughout its entire journey. The recorded conditions are then compared autonomously against the defined rules in real time, generating both visual and electronic alerts or records when a violation occurs. This digital record stays with each product through its end of life.
You mentioned digital map of the entire cold chain. Can you elaborate?
You bet, that is correct. Think of it this way. An average reefer truck can carry between 1,000 to 1,200 boxes. Every box has a neurovault monitoring every box or item inside the reefer, amounting to about 1,000 to 1,200 different sample points of the real-time environment condition within a single reefer throughout its journey. Now, let's expand that capability throughout entire cold chain, in every transport, airplane, and reefers. At that point, you are looking at millions of digital twin with granular real-time data on minute basis of each product at every single point of the journey. You see, you put that together, you end up with a neurovault network, holding the most granular and accurate environmental condition of the entire supply chain. Now that is an impressive amount of actionable data you can take and train AI agents or your own business intelligence, optimizing routes based on your own custom criteria. In short, this marks a new era of accountability and traceability in cold chain logistics.
Data collection is critical. How do you ensure accuracy and manage the large amount of data generated by item-level logging?
Well, as I alluded to, our approach relies on redundancy and reliability. The population of neurovault loggers, in other words, neurovault network, constitutes a network of independent data recordings. This network is used to cross-correlate, analyze, and train AI agents and business intelligence algorithms. So, by cross-correlating the collected data sets, we exponentially reduce any potential anomalies from any single sensor, generating a highly accurate digital representation of the entire cold chain. Basically, this process eliminates ambiguity regarding the value chain's liabilities, making the data highly trusted. In addition to all that, we provide the option of encrypting the data using our embedded encryption engine.
Once the data is logged, how is it made accessible to stakeholders?
That is where Axzon Connect comes in. It is the catalyst for the solution. Axzon Connect is Axzon's cloud-based application software. Basically, it functions as a semantic layer converting the logged data into a standard database format. It processes data at the gateway level using standard internet protocols like MQTT and REST. Well, the result is that the digitized data is always available to all stakeholders in a standard data format and at any point throughout the supply chain. Bottom line, this provides a repeatable, turnkey, plug-and-play solution, enabling a fast adoption cycle.
Speaking of adoption, what is the impact of this item-level solution on the existing market?
Look, the impact is significant because Opus is a disruptive technology. It fundamentally redefines cold chain quality assurance. Currently, the cold chain logger market, or existing total addressable market, is estimated at $1.65 billion. However, you see, by deploying neurovault at the box level versus the container level, we exponentially expand the existing total addressable market from $1.65 billion to $48 billion. This is made possible because each neurovault costs low enough to justify using at box level, basically allowing us to monitor a massive amount of data with greater granularity at a fraction of the current cost.
How is Axzon ensuring that this solution is implemented broadly across the supply chain?
Well, we have assembled a coalition of stakeholders in the value chain, collectively transforming cold chain accountability and visibility. We are establishing neurovault as the gold standard in the industry, using Axzon Connect as the catalyst. This coalition includes manufacturing partners, gateway providers, solution providers, and the end customer. So this coordinated ecosystem ensures that the solution meets end customers' business needs and leads to comprehensive transparency into the quality of the cold chain.
Finally, how does this granular data translate into business benefit?
Putting it all together, you can see that our solution transforms the supply chain and democratizes cold chain data. The digital data is used to develop business intelligence for automation, which exponentially increases efficiency and eliminates loss due to cold chain failure. In principle, if you think about it, we provide complete transparency. It's like turning a segmented, incomplete paper trail into a seamless, encrypted digital highway for every single product, ensuring integrity checks are performed automatically at every mile.
That is a remarkable transformation. Thank you for sharing these insights with us.
Thank you.